Okay, we're doing a series on how to handle your turkey, how to properly care for it in the field, and how to prepare it for the taxidermist. We videoed one turkey that we got, and I showed you how to handle it right at the scene of the kill, transport it back to the truck, how to take the tail off of it. In this video, I'm going to show you how to skin the bird out. Most of the time, we don't want you to skin the bird, we want you to bring it in, bring the bird to us whole and fresh. Obviously, if you're out of town, if you're traveling or something like this and you're at a hunting camp, you need to go ahead and skin your bird out and bring it back. I'm going to show you how to do that. The easiest way to do it, you can skin it out with just a knife, and I'm going to slow it down a little bit and show you just how to do it step by step, and that way it'll be easier for you to understand. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing, I'm going to remove this tail just like I did in my previous video. I'll cut the tail off. I like to cut it off and get it out of the way just to keep it from getting bent or anything when I'm skinning the bird out. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do here with this bird, is remove the tail, and then I'm going to get into skinning the body out on the actual bird. Alright, when we remove this tail, what we want to do is on the underside of the tail, these long fluffy feathers, we're just going to pull them down out of the way, so we've got nothing but the main tail quills right here underneath the turkey, or underneath the tail. We're going to pull those down. Want to cut right along the tail quill, freeing up those long fluffy feathers from the tail. Skin that down till I get to the joint where the tail flexes. Bends right there. Now, what I'm going to do is, on the top side of the tail, I pull back these back feathers. They're naturally going to want to separate right here. This first row of feathers is going to stay on the tail itself. These back feathers will separate, and if you look right down at the base of the tail, there's an oil gland right here. What I want to do is leave that oil gland on the body skin. Going to once again cut right down along the tail. Right along those main quills. Trim it down till it's totally free on either side. Then, right where this flexes, if I cut right through there, it'll cut right through a joint and free that tail. Once again, you've got one row of secondary feathers on your tail and the main tail quill. On the underside, we don't have any feathers. So we just set that tail aside now. Keep it out of the way so it doesn't get bent or bloody or anything. I'm going to roll this bird over and gently place it on its back. I bend these legs so they're straight up and down. The cut that I'm going to make on this turkey is right down the legs. I come to the inside of the leg, I stick my knife in, I slice it right down across the thigh and right up to the breast. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Stick my knife in, slice it right down the inside of the leg, right up across the thigh, and meet that same cut. Now, through this incision, I'm going to skin the whole bird out. Now, I spread that out with my fingers. Okay, I spread out this cut with my fingers, and I reach up in and I work it away from the breast. I'm just going to stick my hand and my fingers up in there and work it away from the breast meat itself. You don't have to use a knife on this at all. You can just work it free, all the way up to the front of the breast. I'm going to do the same thing around the legs. Just work it free with my hand. Around both the legs. Now, as you come to the back of the leg, you do have to cut a little bit around the tail end of the breastbone here. I'm going to cut that back some. Work it free. And here again, you can see how those legs are worked free. It's up off the breast here. Now, on this leg, I'm going to come right up to where the drumstick and the thigh meet, just like on a chicken. And you can see right here where that joint flexes. I'm going to come up with my knife and cut right on the inside of that joint. I cut right through it. You can separate that leg right there. Now when you cut through the joint, you're cutting through the meat on the other side. You have to be careful that you don't cut into the skin there. I trim this back and I leave the drumstick and the leg attached to the body skin. Now I'm going to work it around the outside of the thigh. Just keep working it back. I'm going to do the same thing on the other leg. Here again, we've got this joint, it flexes right here. There's a little bit of fat right there. If you cut right through that, then you can just twist the leg, cut right through that joint. I'm just going to reach down, work it off the outside of the thigh. I'm reaching up in with my hand and pulling the skin back so I can skin it down. Being careful not to cut into the skin itself. Now, right at the tail end of the cavity on the bird, there's two bones that curve up around right here. I just skin right around those two bones, cut it down. Now this is the anus on the bird, the vent. We'll cut right through that. Cut right down to the opening where I previously removed the tail. Now, I like to work it around the back side of the thigh with my fingers. Just work it down away from the bird, away from the body. Work that right down to the back of the bird. Once I've got it worked free on both sides, what I'm going to do is pick this whole bird up, stand it up in the air on its breast. I take and grab the wing right at the elbow joint and bend that wing down to flex it out so I have a little bit more room to work. Now, I pull these legs back out of the way. I roll that skin right around the end of the body. Now, if you reach up and grab here, pull the skin away, just trim it right from the end of the tail. That's the tail joint that we cut off when we removed the tail. Trim that off. Now what I'm going to do is just work it down with my fingers right down the back of the bird. I roll that over the breastbone. Just continue to work it right away from the body, working my hand down in it. Now, right at this section here, there's actually an indentation into the bird's body. This would be an armpit on a human. On the turkey, it's at the back side of the wing. You have to be careful that you don't cut through that skin. I get my finger down in there, pull it away from the body, and cut up into that armpit area and cut it free. Now, you can see I've worked it down and I've got it right to the butt of the wing right here. What I'm going to do is push down on the wing, cut up against the body, and there's another joint. I cut right through that joint. You can see right in here, I just cut away from that. There's a ball on the end of this bone. This is the humerus bone. It's a big bone in the wing. That ball comes up in and there's a joint up at the body. I cut right through that and grasp the bird, the body, and push down on the wing. Now I've separated that wing from the body. This is where the joint attaches. I just cut right through that joint and fold it back. Now I'm going to carefully spin this bird around. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Once again, this is where the skin tucks tight up against the body. I pull it away from the body, trim it out there. Now here we can see the body. That's where the wing starts out. Just cut right up against the body there. Cut around that joint and it'll fold right away from it. Just work that back around off the breast of the bird and grab this wing joint. Just carefully peel it back. You want to make sure that you don't cut this skin. I've got it skinned away from the wing joint totally. I come up around the breast, skin it out. Now what I like to do is fold it so that the body of the bird is away from me. I set it upright on my table. It's easier to skin down across the breast this way. Helps if you can brace your hand against there and just pull it away from the body itself. And don't worry about getting blood on the feathers or anything like that, the bird's totally going to be washed and cleaned up. So at this stage it doesn't matter. I do try to keep the tail clean and dry. The rest of the bird doesn't matter. I'm going to hang the skin right down over the edge of my table. Just cut through this fatty deposit here. A lot of people call that the jelly on the bird. I'm going to peel this back all the way inside out to his head. The turkey's head is right here, folded inside out. Now, I'm going to cut through the meat. Cut right down to the vertebrae. What I do, your body's separated from the skin. I just carefully reach up inside, turn that bird right side out. And what I'm going to do is I take these drumsticks, I slide them up inside the body cavity on the skin. Carefully fold your head around here. Fold it up like this, and I can slide it in a bag. Obviously this is going to take up a lot less space than a full turkey. So I'll slide it in a bag, seal it up. I'll bag my tail, put it outside so the tail doesn't get saturated with blood or anything. You can freeze the skin or put it in the refrigerator. You can fit several skins in a regular cooler that way. If you're flying or traveling, then you can freeze your birds whole and bring them back like that. Now, if you're anywhere where you can get your bird to the taxidermist without skinning it, that's what I recommend. But if you're in a remote location, you're flying, something like that, and you have to skin the bird out, that's the best way to skin it. Obviously, you can skin it just on a table, or if you had to, even the tailgate of a pickup truck. So hopefully that gives you a few pointers and you'll be able to skin your bird out.